have like, if like, let's put like this. If you are a newcomer, okay, you are immigrant, you don't know about the system, this video is the right one for you. Okay, but if you have a lot of knowledge, you know about how Canadian system works, you are free to watch, but it's not really the right one for you. Okay, so that's why I end up putting like this. Okay, so this class is for the complete beginner. Okay, this class is for those who did not take political science in high school or college. Okay, this class is for people with no knowledge of political science. Okay, some people are kind of picky. Why did you put this capital? I can change it. It's not a big deal. Okay, so okay, yeah, like I said, so I'm gonna explain to you guys about the federal government, the provincial, and the municipal government. What I say, the municipal government is the city government. Okay, so I'm gonna also focus on. I'm gonna explain to you guys a little bit about the family court, the child welfare, and the parents. Okay, I'm gonna cover a lot of stuff. Okay, if you're a newcomer and or you're an immigrant or you're a Canadian and you don't know much about the system, you don't know, like, let's say you want to go to university or college to study. Um, if you are a judge, MP, engineer, university professor, okay, a lawyer, MPP, that's a great career to have. Okay, you're gonna make not really a lot of money, but the life you're gonna have is it's a like really type of stable life. Okay, really peaceful. You're not gonna be like financial problem. No, no, you're not gonna have that. Okay, so come here. The government. A lot of people when they hear about the government, they scare. They scare a lot, but I learned about the government when I was back home. Okay, in my back home. So from my siblings, the oldest brother and sister, I heard about them talking about the government. So to me, I wasn't like kind of like afraid when somebody they say the government, like kind of panicking. Nah. We come here. So in our society in Canada, we have a different type or kind of like society or family. Okay, we have the rich, we got the, so that's why I end up putting here. Okay, we have the upper class. When somebody say the upper class, it's the rich, the wealthy one. The upper middle class are lawyer, judge, university professor, the MP, the MPP. Those one are the upper middle class. Okay. Now we have the lower middle class. Those one are like social worker, university. High school teacher, preschool. Those one like they went to university, but their mark, the one they got in university or college, it wasn't that high. Many of them have like many of them have like bachelor degree. Some of them have like 3 years diploma in social service work, something like that. Now, we have the working class. The working class are the people, those one, they finish high school. Some of them, they went in college, they didn't finish. Some of them also went to university, but most of the time they're like supervisor. They're in a good position. But most of the time, it's a high school. They complete high school. They went to college. They start the fourth year, second year. They drop the program, or maybe in their third semester. Okay, those one are the working class. Now the poor, we call them the culture. This one we call them the underclass. This, okay, the underclass. This one, they receive the social assistance. The government help them, so they don't have like the high income. So we have the upper class, the rich. Somebody like, if I want to give you an example, like Bill Gates is upper class. Stevie Jobs is upper class. Walmart, the person who owns Walmart is upper class. The person who owns Google, those one are the upper class. You don't see them on the street. Okay, you don't see the upper class on the street. Now, the upper middle class, you see them in the street. Those one are lawyers. You're gonna see the lawyer, you're gonna see the judge on the street when they have a case, you know. Now, we have the lower middle class. Those when you see them, like the child protection worker, the social worker, they talk to you, they come in your house, this, you see them. Now, working class, they're the one who work in manufacturing, and the poor. Now, in our society, we have the religion. We have the Catholic, we have the Protestant, we got like the Reform, okay, and then we also have the Muslim. After that, we have a lot of them. We got economy. It's really important. If you you're working, you make money, you need to know how to manage your money. Okay, that's part of economy. But in this case, I just want to give you guys some example. We have also universal health care. When you are sick, you don't have much money, or your wife want to give birth, all those things, it's covered by the government. Okay, so we have the politician. When we have a problem, let's say immigration, we have a lot of refugees in Canada. We have let's say you want to travel overseas, you have to get the passport. Those one are part of it. We need a politician to run those kind of stuff. And we got education. Okay, education, when you go like preschool, high school, college, or university. Okay, so I'm not gonna focus a lot on this part. So when someone asks you what is the government, this is what I put. The government is just a bunch of people who speak for the rest of us. Okay, I can become the government, a governor. I can go in Ottawa and represent, for example, London, Ontario, or Windsor, or Toronto, or maybe let's say Ottawa. Okay, so to become the government is not like a dream. No. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys an example. In Canada, we have we call this the Premier Minister. Okay, that's what I put like this. Okay, the Premier Minister is the head of the government and the most powerful person in Canadian politics. Okay, now the official head of the Canadian government is the King or the Queen of Great Britain. Now in Canada, the way our system works, so if you are new, maybe it's kind of like fuzzy, but don't get confused. Okay, we come here, we also have the senator. Okay, so we have the senator, we have it's like different level of government. They have also different people work for, represent us. Like I said, we cannot go in all of us, we cannot do that. So we have people who represent for us. For example, We got the Black, Latino, Asian, the Métis, the Native American. So we have somebody who represent, they have a seat for us there. Okay? So all those, they represent, like, we have like, for example, the NDP, we got the Liberal, we got the Conservative, okay, we got the Green Party. Okay, these one I'm talking about are the political parties in Canada. Okay, we come here. In Canada, we have 3 different type of government. Okay, so we have that's why I put like this. There are 3 different kinds of government in Canada. Okay, so in case you don't get it, there are 3 different kinds of government in Canada. We have the municipal government, we got the provincial government, we got the federal government. Okay, so the federal government, they deal with immigration. For example, we got people who crossing the border, they come from the United States, they claim that they're refugee, this. So that's part of the federal government. The airline, it's a part of the federal government. The bank is a part of the federal government. The army is a part of the federal government. For example, let's say the radio, the TV, it's a part of the federal government. Okay? So, the federal government and the provincial government also share some responsibility. Some of you may say, how? The healthcare. You see, we also have the refugee, right? Some refugee, they live in a different province. But when it's come the time for the healthcare, yes, the federal government share the responsibility of the provincial government. It's not just for the refugee. No. The natural resource. Okay, let's say there's a lot of oil in Alberta. There's a lot of diamond, for example, gold in Ontario. They share that kind of responsibility. Okay, we come here. That's why I end up putting like this. Okay, so the federal and the provincial government share powers. Okay, so that's why I end up putting like this. Okay, we come here. So the government, the one who gives the money for the other province, is the federal government. For example, I'm gonna give you guys a few examples here. Okay, look, we got a lot of immigrants, right? The newcomer, right? So most of the time when we have a lot of newcomer, they go to Quebec and Ontario. Quebec and Ontario has a lot of refugees. Sometimes the government can spend 5 billion, okay, 5 billion on just the province of Quebec, and then another 6 billion for the province of Ontario. But some of you may say, why the government spend a lot of money like that? Yes, look, you see that money I'm saying, 5 billion and 6 billion, it goes to healthcare, the road, the school. So, for example, the province of Ontario, let's say the province of Ontario receive 6 billion. So how are they gonna share that money? That money is gonna go in education. It's gonna go to let's say not just education, but the road. When the road, like, there's a problem need to be fixed. The baby bonus, like the money a lot of people, a lot of women get for their kid. Okay, so that money is coming from there. Okay, so we come here. So people, like the way I put here, the people who run the country are called Member of Parliament, MP. Okay, this one they work for the federal government. Each province in Canada, and then inside of that province we got the city. So each city inside of that province they have their MP represent for them. Let's say for example I live in Toronto, okay, Toronto. Now the area or the neighborhood where I live in Toronto, we have our MP. Okay, let's say for example I live in west of Toronto or Toronto, we have the MP. If you go in the west of Toronto, they also have another MP. So there's a lot of them. Okay, so we come here. So the federal government is divided into three. Okay, so we have three of them: 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so each of them they have their duty. Okay, so we come here. So this 1, 2 are part of the federal government. This one are part of the federal government and provincial, because this one, the Supreme Court of Canada, is the highest court. We have the, when somebody get arrested, some charge it could be the federal level, some charge it could be the provincial. Let's say for example somebody steals something, that's one part of provincial. Let's say somebody come overseas and then they claim something, this, or some traffic, they want to blow up something, that's one become part of the federal. Okay, we come here, that's why I want to show you guys. We come here. Now we have the provincial government, and the leader of the provincial government, we call them premier. This one, okay? So each province in Canada, okay, it doesn't matter if you go in Quebec, Alberta, Nova Scotia, Ontario, each province has its own leader. Now the leader of each province, those one are the one who decide if which city gonna receive much money or not. But the money for the provincial government is the federal government, the one who release it. That's why I end up saying, like, for example, in Quebec, if you take a look in Ontario, there's a two provinces that have a lot of immigrants. Quebec and Ontario. So Quebec receive a lot. That's why I end up saying, like, for example, Quebec receive 5 billion. Ontario receive 6 billion. How? Because Ontario and Quebec have a lot of immigrants. That money is not just gonna go on immigrant. It can go on, for example, housing, road, school. Okay. We come here for the provincial government. The responsibility that the provincial government do, or the employee who work for provincial government. So inside of the provincial government, we have like housing. So we have the hospital, we got school, we got electricity. When you pay electricity is a part of that. We got the healthcare, we got the doctor, we got the nurse. You know when I say that 6 billion or 5 billion, yes, the money from the family doctor is coming from there. The money for the nurse is coming from there. Okay? The money they pay the teacher, they pay the all those kind of stuff like daycare, yes, it's coming from there. Yeah, like I said, so the hospital, school, electricity, healthcare, doctors, nurse, so all those are the part of the provincial government. Okay. Now, for the court, you know when you get arrested, and let's say you got divorced, let's say you have to go for the, let's say you were driving so fast and then you get a ticket. So we have a different court system. Okay, so if let's say they give you a ticket, okay, because you were driving so fast, you're not gonna go to the criminal court or the family court to pay for that. No, it has a different court. Okay, let's say that you guys doing you have to go for the family court for the divorce. You're not gonna go to the criminal court. That's not a part of the criminal court. So the divorcing, let's say you guys have to deal with the child uh, let's say divorce, or you guys have an argument with your wife or your husband, and you guys have to go for the custody. You're not gonna go to the criminal court for that. But you can also go to the criminal court if you have an appeal. In some situation, you can also go in the criminal court, the highest one, for the appeal. Okay? We come here. So that's why I end up putting like this. Okay? So in the top here, we have like this part is the part of the king and queen. But the person who represents the king and the queen here in Canada is the government general. Okay, I mean, this is the person who represents the king in Canada. Okay, now this is the system we have. Okay, so in Canada, you see the senator. Okay, what happened? The prime minister, or I forgot the other one. They're the one who put the senator. Most of the time, I do believe the senator stay in their position until like they're 70 or 75. I think they're 72, something like that, I believe. Yeah, so, and yeah, so like I said, we have two parts. This one is the part of Supreme Court of Canada. So we have the Federal Court of Canada. We also have the provincial one. Okay? We come here. So this one is the highest. Okay? And then inside of it, we got the Federal Court of Canada. We got the provincial court. Okay, so when you like I said, if you have to go for divorce, share custody, you have to go to, you're not gonna go to the criminal court. No, it's a different one. You're gonna go to the family court. We come here. So in case you guys wanna take some note, we go there. So that's why I end up putting like this. Okay, so let's say for example your son is steal something, and then, or you were driving so fast you got a ticket. Okay, or let's say you something you did is like really terrible. Okay, really terrible. So in that situation we have a different type of criminal court, and then the judge also gonna know how to sentence you. Okay, because different crime has a different also level. Like let's say that I went to, I'm just giving an example. There's a boy who steals the candy, a little boy. Or let's say the guy is like, let's say 18 years old. He steals like, let's say a cookie, something like that. And there's a guys and his wife fighting, and then they have to go, they're fighting for the share custody. There's another one, the new immigrant. He did something terrible that's gonna cause a problem to Canadian society. It's really terrible. In that situation, we have to look at the three of them. One person may end up going to the family court. The other one, criminal court. Okay? The other one, they're gonna go to the highest level. The highest one. Okay? So it depends on the situation we are facing here. We come here. Yeah. Go there. So that's why you see, if you take a look, the provincial judge can be appointed after serving at the bar for 5 years. Okay? So if you guys want to take some note, it's right there. Yeah. In some situation when they create the law, if it's not that right, they have to rid of it and put a new one. But most of the time, people who examine and study the new law are the senator. Okay, those MP. They're the one who examine the situation. If they see the law is not right, they have to rid of it. This part talking about the provincial government. We come here. That's what I put. The people who run the province are called. So here is not the Ontario, like in Ontario, we call them MPP. Here is a different province. So different province, they have their terminology, okay? Because where I live is Ontario, we have a different way of saying, okay? So we come here, this one is Quebec. So if you go back here, this is not Quebec. So here is Quebec, okay? We go here in Ontario, the people who run the province are called member of provincial parliament. We call them MPP, okay? So if like you have a problem with let's say your wife or divorce, the share custody, in that level you are dealing with the provincial government, not the city or the federal government. No, you're dealing with the provincial government. You know, once, for example, they take your kid, they took your kid away, and then you have to fight to get your kid back. In that situation, you're dealing with the provincial government, not the city government. No, not the federal government. It's a provincial government. Okay. So different different province, they have their own terminology they use for that. So that's why I end up putting like this, okay? So the city, the municipal government, this one equal city government, okay? So, you know, for example, let's say starts snowing, we got snow, a lot of snow outside. It's a part of the city. When you see the car that they're removing the snow, the garbage, the parking, the library is a part of the city. The person who's on top there, we call them that person mayor. Okay? So we come here. Okay, so this one, they work inside of the city. So the mayor is the toppest one. In case you guys want to take some note. So the mayor is like the boss. Okay? So in Canada, each city, okay, each province, okay, has a primary. Now, each city inside of the province, it has, let's say, for example, if you go in Toronto, they have their mayor. You go to Niagara Falls, they have their own mayor. You go to Burlington, they have their own mayor. You go to Oakville, they have their own mayor. You go to London, Ontario, they have their own mayor. You go to Hamilton, Ontario, they have their own mayor. You go to St. Catherine, they have their own mayor. Okay? Because those cities, I said, is inside of Ontario. Now, if you go to Quebec, you go to Montreal, same thing. They have their own mayor. You go to Laval, same thing. Same thing if you go to Alberta. You go to Edmonton, yes. Edmonton also has its own mayor. You go to Calgary, yes. Calgary also has a different mayor. Okay? So mayor is the one who make the decision for the city. You know, when you hear a lot of noise, a lot of problem in the city, you're not gonna call the federal government to deal with that. No, you call the city government. But if you feel like it's too much, they're not doing anything, yes, from there you can talk to the provincial leaders, like the premier, the one on the top. Okay, you complain that the city is not that good, this, and then from there they're gonna do something. You know, like for example, if you were fighting with your wife, and then you guys, or let's say you got arrested, you don't call the mayor. You know, let's say you guys fighting for the share custody, don't call the mayor. The mayor is not gonna do anything because that's not the mayor. The mayor works for the city, not for the provincial. Even though the city is inside of the province, but the mayor is not the part of the family court or the criminal. No. The mayor he or she is a part of the city. The garbage, the library. You can say, but we don't have a lot of books in this library. Yes, in that case you have to talk to the mayor. Yeah, in Canada we have a constitution, we got the human right, we got the rule of law. Okay, you see this one. Okay, constitution, we have a human right, we got the rule of the law. This one is really important. All of them. In Canada, you cannot say because I'm rich, I'm better than you. No, it's against the law. You cannot say that my dad is a police officer, I can do whatever I want. Nope, wrong. My daddy teach at the university, so guess what? I can do whatever I want to do. Wrong. My dad is a police officer, I can do whatever I want to do. Wrong. Okay? I'm a president of the United States, I can go in Canada, do whatever I want to do. Wrong. So in democracy, people have a right. You see, that's why I'm putting like this. Okay? In a democracy, everyone has an equal right to vote and to try to be elected. Okay? So, in rule of law, okay? So, that's what I put like this. The rule of the law means that Canada is a law applied to everyone in the whole country, and nobody is allowed to break the law. You are a new immigrant. You come here, you want to do whatever you want to do, you want to feel like you want to do whatever you did in your back home. No, stop that. In Canada, you're going to get arrested. You feel like, okay, I want to marry two women. What's the problem? No, it's against the law in Canada. Or whatever religion you practice, that you do something that against a human, it's wrong in Canada. You're going to go in jail. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, you're Muslim, you are whatever religion you believe. If your religion is gonna harm somebody, no, we don't allow that in Canada. We don't allow that. Okay. So, yeah. So we're coming here. In Canadian, the way we live, you have a right. If you are citizens, okay, you are citizens, you're a Canadian citizen, or you have your permanent residence, you can go anywhere you want to live. If you decide you want to move to Alberta, live there, you're okay, you can go there. If you want to move to Quebec, no problem, just you. If you want to move to Nova Scotia, just you. Okay, so if you have your permanent residence or you're a Canadian citizen, but if you have a permanent residence and you decide to go outside for more than a year, it can cause a problem. You may end up stuck to come back because you're not a citizen. So to have a permanent residence is okay, but you are not a citizen. Okay? A person who's a citizen, the person who has a citizenship is way better. He or she is way better than the person who has what? Permanent residence. Because permanent residence, you have there's a little bit of limit. For example, I'm a Canadian citizen. I can go outside anytime I want. I can live overseas for more than 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Nothing's gonna stop me to come back. But if you're a permanent resident, you go outside of Canada for more than 2 years, you're done. You're gone. You're not gonna come back. At least you're gonna repeat the process again, but you're not a citizen. We come here in case you guys wanna, wanna take the note. It's there for you. Yep. Yeah. So the video is not. I know it's kind of a little bit long, but I wanna provide you guys some information that you really need. Okay. So thank you so much. You guys take care. Bye bye.